So, you know what? I was talking to my mum the other day, yeah, and she listened to one of the episodes, and you know, I was pleasantly surprised that she listened to it, and she was like, "It's good, but you got to be a bit more confident. You seem a bit more." So I hope I'm giving off the right energy to start with. But yes, welcome back to Life in Sport, where today I have a guest, or I always have a guest, but I have a guest that I am truly humbled that they are sitting here with me today at this time, whenever you're listening or watching. But yeah, talking about community, talking about tough times and the magic and the power of sport, community and resilience all rolling into one. So I'm gonna do my usual and let them introduce who they are, what they do, and yeah. Oh, T, by the way, I've been like, I'm really bad with the intros, but yeah, without further ado, welcome.
Thank you very much. Your name's T, yeah?
Yeah,
Thank
T,
you very
like,
much.
It's my camera thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. It's not like we've known each other for years. But thank you for having me on the show. So my name is Paul Menacer. I'm a sports coach. Live in the local sort of area of Kensington and Chelsea, where I was sort of brought up my entire life. And yeah, just want to say thank you to T for inviting me down today.
Yeah, nah, man, it's the pleasure's all mine. So obviously, I like to start a little bit. I like to start a bit reflective. If people watch my episodes, broken record, but I always change up the words a little bit. But I always ask my guest 3 questions at the start. So the same. So the first question is, name one good thing that Name one good thing that's happened this week or recently. Big win, small win, but something positive for you personally.
Well, my Saturday team, Grenfell Athletic, the Saturday team won 4-0 on Saturday just gone. So it's a really positive for us.
Okay.
I'll take that as the positive thing. The first thing.
Yeah,
Your first
no,
question.
that's a victory.
It's a big win for my team.
Okay, so how did you make it happen?
Hard work, determination, and a lot of fighting character.
Okay, and finally, it's how do you repeat/build on said positive thing?
I think you have to look at the positive thing that you've done on that week and try and enhance that and try and sort of do the same thing the following week. Any little spiritual thing, whatever little thing that you've done to make that happen last week, we want to sort of do the exact same thing in order to get the same positive result the following week.
How important do you find repetition in what you do?
Repetition is very important. I think for us in terms of for my Saturday team, it's all about we look at consistency as one of the most important factors. And I always ask the boys every time they go out, even at training, why are we here? What are we representing? And for us, that message alone gives us that extra 10% come every Saturday or even every Wednesday night when we do training together. So it's repetition is one of the most, if not the most important thing for me. Repetition is the most important thing for me.
No, of course. I didn't mean to make you repeat yourself.
It's fine.
Yeah. So, bro, we go quite back, man. A lot of mutual friends, a lot of family. Like,
exactly.
We go back, man. So this isn't like when I have to break the ice and things like that.
Yeah,
so which is a positive. But I like to make people feel settled, though. But bro, like obviously, you've always been the football guy, like from when I've known you, from when we used to do sessions at Albans and Westway.
every Sunday evening. Yeah,
Or when we used to do like the blacks and the reds in the Westway League on Sunday, bro. Like
That's like 15, 16 years ago.
I'm really rolling it back, bro. Like
making me look gold on the camera to all the viewers 16 years ago.
50. We're just privileged enough to remember 15, 16 years ago.
Exactly. That's it.
No, man. So like obviously, man, football. I think football's kind of like what brought in the cliche way, but it's only a cliche because it's true. Is what brought us together and what brought lots of like you know, going to the Alban sessions back in Wednesday nights or Thursday nights, whenever it is, and then whatever sessions. But and obviously football has been a big part of your life, and I think what I like to kind of hit home on with people that come on is like, obviously, if you're the elite athlete and you're telling me your story, great, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
but it's also the sport, the game, whether it's football, tennis, rugby, or whatever sports exists out in the world. It's for all of us. So like, what I'm getting before this turns into a really long tangent is what cliche, but cliche because it's true. First of all, is like, what is football to you? Like,
And this is a very cliche thing to say.
I know.
But
I mean the question, but
in terms of my answer is a bit very cliche, but to say, and I don't mind going into in-depth detail, but football is life for me.
Yeah.
It's literally an everyday sort of life for me kind of thing. And as I said, I don't mind going into some sort of detail of it.
Go. That's what we're here for, bro.
Yeah.
We're here for your detail,
Detail
story.
perspective.
Express yourself, bro.
I mean, for me, when I was 13 years old, I lost my mum, and it was a really tough time. I remember the time my best friend Adam, we were in the same class in school. It was a Friday morning, and one of the teachers came out, took me to the head teacher's office thinking, damn, I might be in trouble here. But they literally sat me down with my friend Adam and said, your mum passed away. And I think it was just that shock alone, kind of, that
such a young age as well.
13 years old, yeah. So I think for me, through them periods there, I remember getting sent home from school that day very early. And my earliest memory after that was obviously the same day, literally getting my football stuff and going to Westway and playing football with my 3 friends that all got off school early because of obviously the incident. And we went and played football for hours. Took my mind off everything I was thinking about my mum passing, all the happy memories, bad memories. So that was like my kind of release, was playing football. So 2 months later, my dad ended up dying as well.
Wow.
In the same year. So again, it was not just that evening where I found out, but it was just the aftermath of grieving. Was football for me, was my stress mechanism and release. It's very, very easy in them kind of circumstances to go off the rails, get into maybe gangs, go to smoking, doing all that kind of stuff that maybe a lot of my friends have told me even till today is very, very, like, you had every right to go and do any of that kind of stuff. But it was football through them dark periods that kept me on the straight and narrow, which I thought was, in terms of my release, like football is my drug. Literally, I know, as I said to you at the start, it might sound cliche, but then obviously I went into a bit of detail as to why football has helped me through some very, very dark periods of my life when I was a teen.
That's crazy, man. To have gone through that at so young, like, I mean, that's stuff like people triple your age wouldn't have dealt with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I mean, these things, they're such a, anything you go through. I mean, like, I'm gonna quote, struggle doesn't forgive anyone. Like, whatever kind of struggle you've gone through or go through, big or small, struggle grips people, innit? Like, but to go through that and be so like invested into playing, it's crazy, man. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
So another thing, like, I kind of want to touch on a little bit is the watching football side. I feel like that plays a big part for not everyone. Some people might find it boring, and obviously, like, playing is always going to be more of a stress relief. But was watching football a big part for you as well?
It was, and that as well was just another avenue to sort of a release, kind of. If it wasn't sort of watching my favourite team Arsenal on the TV or watching any kind of football, it was potentially then started getting into coaching at a very youngish kind of age, and that kind of side of it, it always helps as well. But obviously, when you're younger, the only thing you want to do is really play.
Of course, of
So, but
course.
obviously, the coaching side and just watching football, that does help a lot as well.
Yeah, no. So you found like it's like the games like for you is like you found different ways to express yourself,
Yeah,
or maybe different ways to express the game in a
yeah,
way that really got you out there, man.
yeah,
Uh, you know what? I'll open up a little bit. I feel like I get nervous, not nervous. I'm not nervous, but it's like whenever I have someone on, whoever it is, I want to make the most out of them, make the most out of the discussion we can have. And the reason I'm saying this, other than fill in silences, is it's because I forgot what I was going to say. The reason why I'm saying it is because obviously I value what the conversations we can have. So, how did you get into coaching then? I think I filled the silence as well.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
joking. So
No,
I take the piss out of
no,
myself too much.
no. No, the first experience I actually had coaching, it was literally just put on me in terms of I was 16, was again playing in the same league that we used to play in, Albans League on a Sunday. Well, the teams I was playing for, basically, the coach at the time couldn't turn up. So he was like, Paul, can you take the team today? And not being funny, obviously now as a 31-year-old, I'm a bit more sort of talkative, very out there. But as 16-year-old, I was pretty shy, and
Okay.
I was being asked to take the team on the Sunday for the game, and I was the youngest person on the team, youngest person by at least 8 years. These are grown ass men that I'm actually saying to them, no, you're playing right back today, you're playing striker, you're playing here. But it was an experience. We ended up winning the game quite comfortably that game. I think it was like 5-1 or 6-1. But after that, I just got a really good buzz out of it. And to be fair, what I found was the hardest, what I thought psychologically would have been the hardest point of that would be actually getting the guys to literally listen to maybe not play in their preferred position that they always play in for maybe this coach here who wasn't there that week. It was me. It was just me basically saying to them, you're going to have to go and play right back today. And everyone listened to it, the game plan, and we ended up winning the game. And then I think after that, I got a kind of buzz for coaching basically just off that one experience. And like I said, it was that only probably happened because the actual coach wasn't there on the for the Sunday game. So that was,
What were you thinking building up to that when they're like, yeah, come coach? Was you thinking like,
yeah, it was a bit, can I swear?
express?
I was like, shit. Like, I was thinking of 110 different ways in which to say I can't do it. There was a point where I was like, no, I can't. I'm not around this week either, just to try and pass the buck to someone else. But in the end, I just literally, there was another boy in our team that I was very close with at the time, one of my closest friends. And he was like, no, just take the team, it'll be fine, etc. So, yeah, I ended up taking the team. And as I said, we won quite comfortably that game and just got a big buzz for it, basically.
Yeah, nice. That's great. How did that compare to? How did the buzz of coaching compare to the buzz of playing?
It's a different kind of buzz that you get because when you're playing, all you're thinking about is how well you personally do in the game, like in terms of how many passes you've done correctly, or how many crosses you've done and it met someone's head, or how many goals or assists that you got. Whereas coaching, it's kind of taking all that and putting it all together, and you get more success from maybe the formation that you play, the way the team is playing, how you want them to play, and actually getting over the line. It's a different kind of buzz, but they're both really good sort of buzzes that you get basically from both sides of it, playing and coaching.
Yeah, nice. And obviously you moved on to you moved on to like coaching kids and that
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah,
what was that? Because did you just jump straight into coaching adults and then,
yeah. So
well, not coaching, but like
yeah,
managing
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Sunday.
yeah. So
Well,
what?
that is coaching, but you
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I think after that, I think it was probably that game where I literally had to take the team. That was probably about 5 games left in the season. After the season was done, the coach basically came to me and said, Paul, I'm going to step away from coaching. I want you to take the team next year. And he would be in the background, come and support when he can. But obviously work life stuff just basically meant he couldn't commit to it. So he asked me to take the team. And I think that decision was just, yes, I'll do it. Whereas 5 weeks prior to that, it was 110 different reasons as to why I don't want to take the team. But that was just a straight, yes, I'll do it. And I think from there, I think it was how I got into it. I ended up doing that for about a season or two. No, about a season. And then that following season, so the second season, I took the team. We ended up winning the cup in the league.
Is this in the West?
Yeah. We won.
You know, just for a bit of context, basically, there used to be a 4-5, was it like 4-5-6
6-team league.
A 6-team league on the Sunday evenings at Westway. If you don't know what Westway is, it's probably one of like the more iconic football spots in London. I feel like each different part of London has their iconic football spot.
That's definitely West London's most iconic.
But it's definitely West London's. Like a lot of videos are filmed there. Top Boy was filmed there. So yeah, there used to be the Sunday league, and it was just that's the context.
Yeah.
Just before I
no, it's fine. And then obviously we won the league, we won the cup that year, and then I from that point then ended up getting an opportunity to go and do coaching for kids, which was a different kind of level and different kind of sort of something that I wanted to try and do just to see what it was like, because I was coaching sort of and playing. I was playing as well as managing at that time, playing with that team on the Sunday. But this was like a different perspective because I'd wanted to see if I could sort of use my skills that I've kind of learned over that 2 seasons and take that into progressing with kids in terms of trying to see if I can get the best out of kids and try and making them as good as I possibly could make kids, like in terms of maybe making the next Messi and Ronaldo, whatever back in the day. So it was a big sort of shift, but it was a really good sort of opportunity to get into kids football basically and coaching.
How important were those people skills that you picked up from the men and from the kids into like you as a person in general, not even just as a coach?
It's really like
at that stage.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. It's obviously different in so many different ways. I think the good thing with obviously doing coaching sort of adults before working with the kids was obviously the fact that the people skills and stuff that I sort of learnt from the adults, I could take that onto the kids, because the kids, for me, when I always say this to even kids or people that are coaching kids now, they always ask for advice from me. I say, for me, the hardest thing coaching kids is the parents. And the reason why I say the parents are the most hardest thing is because they always question you as the coach as to why is my child playing there today and why is my child not starting. So it's always that kind of struggles that you have to learn to have people skills and actually encourage basically and say, look, this is what we need for the team today. Your son's really, really good as a striker, but today I want him to play a bit more defensive, to work on his defensive side and stuff like that. So it's about just like people skills in general from the adults working it into the kids. And then obviously with the kids, it's really good. Like I was very lucky with the group of kids that I was coaching. They were really, really good, technical, really good, and could make it into academies at that point in their young careers. So it was really, really good to understand, because I could have gone into a different kind of environment where the kids are a bit hyperactive. The parents just feed them sugar just to give them at 1 or 2 hours with the coach, and then they can go and do whatever they're doing, and they'll be tired by the time that they get home for their parents. But I worked with some really, really like sort of technical, really good kids for their age kind of thing. So I was very, very lucky there.
How important was it as well for you to to link it back with what you were going through, probably at a similar age to the kids?
Yeah.
How important was it for you to get the best out of those kids?
The thing for me was obviously, the kids were there to go and like to play football. We all know that and improve. But it's about people skills in terms of actually communication skills. I sort of learnt when I was coaching those specific kids that like there was a lot of life lessons that I could teach them. So I would give them I'd give them sort of homework after a game and say, next time I see you at training on Tuesday night, you need to be telling me the answers to this. So it was really, really good. And they were all like sort of questions that I was asking them, like little homework and stuff that I was giving them. It was just it was nothing like sort of what's 5 times 5 or something like that. It was more just some like footballing terms, stuff that you could possibly learn, like stuff like find out what man on means, like in football,
Okay.
stuff like that. So it was just stuff like that that I thought they needed to learn, because that's kind of footballing terms that you would not just learn like sort of then, but throughout your footballing career, where you might go and play at whatever level you play at, you're going to learn that kind of stuff. So it was just stuff like that that I was giving them homework for. And yeah, do you know what I mean? I mean, at the end, when I stopped coaching with the kids, the parents were like, some of the parents from the start that maybe didn't agree with some of the decisions I was making, etc., were in the end like, wow, like thank you so much for everything you've done for the past 2 seasons for my son.
How important as well? I keep saying how important, but like that when did when you were coaching, especially when you started with the younger kids, did your like goals and way of doing things kind of evolve? You kind of went from I want the next Messi and Ronaldo to
Yeah.
I don't know, the next good person.
Yeah, but joy it is. It's the thing. The thing is, it's a deep. It's really deep and it's really sad. But when the more you go into it and the more you speak to other coaches and you just have conversations with coaches from other teams, etc., you kind of paint a picture of like, yeah, they say that they'll tell stories about maybe one of the kids that they had go to Arsenal, Chelsea, or Tottenham, stuff like that, and you just hear kind of some of the stories that you kind of hear, and it's really, really hard out there. So because academies now, they look at specific kinds of things, everything down to if the child has a mum and dad in their life, which is really, really sort of, it's good, but it's bad at the same time. So for me, I was just trying to make the players, the kids that I had, like better players, but at the same time make them better human beings as well, and teach them through football what's right, what's wrong. Make sure you go and shake everyone's hands at the end of every game. Respect, stuff like that was really, really important to me.
Yes, the academy system is very cutthroat.
It
I
is.
mean, for such young children to be worrying about if they're going to be playing or not, or if they're going to be, because I think at the end of the day, sport is all about inclusion and being part of
Exactly.
a community, being a part of something. And the academy system is, well, it's not about that as much, in terms of there is that part of there is that the community and inclusion and whatnot, but there's also that kid will take my shirt. I
Yeah.
might, if I'm not playing well, I won't be playing next year or whatever.
Yeah.
And
It's a cutthroat industry. That's the sad thing. And the thing that, like I said to you, when I first got into coaching, I was just about making the next Messi and Ronaldo. But by the end, it's just about making the kids better human beings on and off the pitch, like in terms of showing them right from wrong. And like I said, it's a very small percentage of kids that, if you're not in an academy by the time you're 9 or 10 years old, you probably won't be. That's just in a top academy anyway. So it's really, really like tough. Like it's a really tough sort of business, etc. So that's when the element of sort of football for all, regardless of the ability, just going out there and playing football. That for me is one of the most important things that I can give advice to kids right now.
yeah. So I've been I've been trying to be careful with how I approach this, because I don't want it to seem like I'm just trying to approach and chase. But obviously, the top you're wearing, the badge is not, the badge is heavy, because then that just makes it a negative thing. But the badge holds a lot of weight, I
Yeah,
guess, in terms of what it means, and what it means to the community, and what it means to everyone that was affected, whether it was directly or even indirectly. So yeah, going on to that is sort of like, how important is sport and football in the community in general? Like,
I mean, if I can just speak specifically for our community where I was
Of
like sort of
course.
born and raised, I think football was everything. Football was life. Football was our way of life. As I just alluded to earlier on, it's literally how each and every single one of us growing up, we thought of it. We were lucky at the time when we were growing up where we had not just Westway that you alluded to, but it was also there was a place called Green Pitch.
Okay.
So there was always football there, and there was always pitches there for us to go and play football and stay off the streets or stay out of gangs. It was just literally playing football till whatever time at night time, pitch black at night. So I think our community and my community in particular, it was very football driven, and the one thing that would always bring us together was our love for football, basically.
Whether it's who played well in this session, or
Yeah, it was
whether
just
it's Arsenal beat Chelsea and you
yeah,
having a little back and
yeah,
forth,
yeah.
like
It's literally how it was. So I think as a community, there's a lot of things that would divide us, but football, I can promise you, is not one of them.
oh,
Basically,
never, never, man. And if it's not, then it's the wrong environment
yeah,
rather than the wrong sport kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But let's talk a bit about Grenfell Athletic, and obviously the name comes from the the tragedy that happened
yeah.
at the time, and I don't I'm kind of trying to be conscious of not triggering
No,
anything,
no,
or
no. Speak freely to you.
like
You've known
I
me
just
for over 16 years, bro. You can
I know
speak
it's
freely.
just like it's the respectful side of it,
It's
but
fine.
obviously that was, you know how I like, obviously I live in the area but not in the area
Yeah, yeah,
kind of thing. Like I don't live in the Ladbroke Grove kind of
yeah,
Latimer area.
yeah,
I'm more towards Father Shepherd's Bush
yeah, yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
And then I remember the day, yeah, like I didn't see any, I think I went, like, I feel bad in a way, but like it's like I went to bed, I woke up, and then we were in a group chat. I don't remember what group chat it was.
yeah.
I think it was for one of the Alban
Yeah,
football,
football. Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I suddenly see bare messages, and it was James that oh shit, I forgot to do the shout out at the start. But yeah, I'll get
Yeah, they could. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nah, but he started suddenly going, oh, everyone try whatever you have, try and pull this, and because it was you
Yeah,
specifically that
yeah,
was
yeah.
whatever, like, and I was like, whoever can help in this, and it was just like a bunch of messages on who could like contribute, help
Yeah,
out
yeah,
in
yeah.
whatever way. And I was just looking, I was like, like, what happened? Like, why, like, it was just very
Yeah,
sudden,
yeah,
innit?
yeah, yeah.
Like, and then, like, obviously, all over social media, the the fire happened, and like, I mean, I can't even begin to compare or whatever, which I'm not, but like, I just sort of see like, and yeah, man, I just I don't know, man. It just happened. It was a shock for me, and I wasn't even, and like it affected people that didn't even live in the tower strongly,
Yeah.
let alone the people that went through it. Um, what I mean, obviously you went through what you went through before, and
Mm.
then you had to endure that kind of trauma. And how 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 important was, because that's when I know you were playing, like around that time. That's when you were playing the most football. You were going to the football sessions like nothing
Mad.
happened, and kind of thing, and talking like you were fine, and
Yeah, just keeping a brave face, I
yeah,
think.
like that's what I remember, like vividly, like you just being calm. You just come into Albans the week later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was for me. I always say this to people. Grenfell had a more lasting, and it was more damaging to me than losing both my parents in the space in which I did. Me personally, it was the worst thing to ever happen to me because of some of the stuff that I saw that night. How I almost died. It was very very traumatizing, and it will probably stay with me. Like it will stay with me for the rest of my life. I mean, the thing is as well. It's like as a community, people's first instance and thoughts were to try and help. Like, and I'm talking the night of the fire in general.
Mm.
And I think that's a really important point as well, because a lot of people portray it and see it as just it's bereaved, the bereaved, the survivors, they were the only ones affected. But we're over 8 years on now from what happened, and there are still a lot of people that witnessed and saw what they saw that night of the fire that have still not even got a simple part, like a simple bit of help, because they're a bit shy or scared or worried about how it might look, might make them look. So for me, it's really really important, like that as a community, like we're still suffering. And I say that as we because obviously I live very local to the tower now and moved back there. But I'm saying everyone is still affected and by just by what they saw that night and traumatized. So it's little things for me, like annual events that we try to do for the area and community that kind of try to give people as much hope and give them some kind of something to look forward to besides anything else, basically.
I mean, I think that was like the most damning thing. Just I see it all in the news, and you're just there the next week.
That's
Like,
that's the thing as
that's
well. That's the thing for me. It was, I think, at that point there, the week or two after, everything was a blur to me. Everything was a blur. It was like literally a dream, and I haven't even woken up from that dream yet. But I was very lucky to have very good family around me, and to have like my very close friends around me. Because at that point there, I was in a hotel room,
yeah,
so I was never by myself. I always had people there. When I went to bed and when I woke up, people were always there and around me and like literally suffocating me, but it suffocated me in a good way, not in a bad way, but just
yeah.
making sure I wasn't alone basically. And it was more pushing me to come out, pushing me to go here, pushing me to go there. And as I said, I tried to, the early stages after the fire, I tried to go on, like I was shocked, but I was trying to carry on doing what I was doing prior to the night of the fire. Try to have a bit of routine and getting pushed to do this kind of stuff. No, we're going football today this time, then we're going to this football. Try to give yourself some kind of routine
Structure and
structure, which
yeah.
was meant to be like was really important.
Why
But
why was it so important having that structure and routine after
because
for you? I mean,
yeah, yeah,
like yeah.
because I think I'm someone that was always sort of up and about. Before the fire, I was literally going and doing my apprenticeship because I was doing my apprenticeship and I was leaving my flat at like 7 in the morning and not getting back home until like 10 p.m. at night because I was doing football, gym, cycling, everything after my apprenticeship would end. Yeah, so for me it was like I know myself that if I'm just sitting there in a hotel room, just literally watching the TV and everything that was on at the time was everything to do with the tower news, everything was showing it, or go on social media, everything's showing that as well. So at least if I could have some kind of structure, it could help. It could maybe help me in the long run, basically. So yeah,
What's the what's the most impactful thing that you've learned in I'm talking 8 years of reflection at this point. And alhamdulillah, we're here and we're
alhamdulillah.
conversating and we're expressing and stuff. Like, what's the most impactful thing that happened? Whether it was directly after or something you just realize now. Like,
There's two things that I think have a like a lasting impact on me. One was how the community all came together after the fire, and I'm not just talking the small community. It was everyone in London that was literally coming from every part of London to come to the area and try and support and help as best as they possibly can. So for me, I think that was so important. But I do always say, as another thing I always say as well is that I I'm a sole believer. If this happened in any other part of London or any other part of the world, you wouldn't see in terms of the impact in terms of people, the community coming together and supporting for the period of time in which they did after, because there's even still organizations and still people that still do voluntary work and helping and working with the bereaved survivors and people from the local area that witnessed that over 8.5 years after the fire. So I'm a sole believer, if this happened anywhere else in the world, I don't think you would have a community around you like we do in North Kensington, basically. And the other thing that's impacted me, like in it's a lasting thing for me. Reason why I say that is because It meant a lot. It was just, it was obviously for me, we're 8.5 years from the fire, and I'm not trying to make this political or anything with UT,
No,
but no,
you
no, no,
express, bro.
but it's just like the fact that we've gone 8.5 years and there's still no justice for the 72 that
No,
passed away,
there isn't.
and it doesn't look like from what we read or what we've been told that there is any kind of justice that's coming in the near future. It's looking like sort of 2030s, the nearest time where we potentially might get some kind of relative justice. And the tower coming down is literally just started this week. The tower
Yeah.
getting brought down, and I know I'm speaking for myself here, not for the football club that I represent, Grenfell Athletic. I'm speaking for myself when I say this. When a lot of bereaved survivors, I say 95% of people don't want that tower to come down until there's some kind of justice, because right now the tower being up is the last kind of symbol that we have. Have people that are maybe driving past on the motorway, people that are going past on the train. They're looking and they're probably seeing it, and that's bringing them back to what happened on the 14th of June 2017. But as soon as we bring that tower down, people are going to forget and move on,
Yeah.
and we don't want that. We want the tower to come down. A lot of us want the tower to come down, but we want it to come down after the Crown Prosecution Service has said, okay, these are the responsible parties for what happened, and these are the people and the reasons why the fire actually happened.
I mean, I think the reality of like the whole thing is the sheer irresponsibility of the people that were in charge. And if it didn't happen then, it would have happened before, or it would have happened at any other point because of like the cladding stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like people just kind of, from my perspective of someone that's on the outside, I feel like it just sort of, it was the topic at the time, big shock, big deal, and then it's kind of just being brushed under the carpet. And
That's what it feels like. It feels like it's just been covered up.
Yeah.
That's literally how it feels. And I'm glad that you're seeing it. And it's not just, for example, people from the close community that live very close to the tower or bereaved survivors are the only ones that are feeling that. It's literally people from, even though you're in the community as well, maybe on the outskirts, but it's people like yourself that understand that it feels like a cover up, basically.
I mean, bro, it's like if you're talking like let's say the gossip of something, and you talk about that that's what's going viral, or that's what's trending or whatever.
Yeah.
You talk about that, and then it dies out, and that could be anything.
Yeah, anything.
But then with the tower, it was like it happened, time passed, and then it kind of got not forgotten, but just like moved on in terms of like the news and the mainstream media.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what left behind is
the people,
hundreds of people that suffered at the time and suffering now, and the people around them, whether it's family or people that lived across the road. It's crazy, man.
And I think the only times you see the media back in the area is it's on an anniversary, or something to do with, like, for example, the final report of the Grenfell Tower inquiry. There was quite a bit of media coverage for that, and now obviously the fact that the tower's coming down, when the government made the decision that they want to bring the tower down, you got a bit of media coverage for that. So for me, it's like that's it. Kind of once the tower's completely down, people will just automatically move on and forget. And my issue with that is obviously I'm bringing it onto Grenfell Athletic a little bit now.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say that is because it's a really important point. So for me, when we go, so a lot of our Saturday games, we're predominantly in Surrey, where our league is. So we
Mm-hmm.
travel to all parts of Surrey for our games, away matches, etc. And we always obviously wear our Grenfell tracksuits and stuff, representing the area community. We always, and it's not just me, it's literally the whole team. Sometimes they might make their own way there. They always say to me, like, before, when they get to games, Paul, I had about 2 or 3 people, and this is just one player what I'm talking about now, would say to me, I've had 2 or 3 people come up to me and just ask about Grenfell and the team, etc. So, and they explain to them, because obviously people's perceptions in Surrey and people's perceptions nationwide is obviously, okay, Grenfell happened 8.5 years ago, and that's it. Like, everyone's been, people died, but everyone's obviously moved on. They've been housed, rehoused, and permanently rehoused. And then obviously we go into, not just myself, but we all just go into detail with them and try to explain, obviously, some of the stuff that's going on in the area, and how there was 8.5 years on. There's only certain people that I know, like a bereaved, really close mate of mine. He's only just been permanently housed 3 weeks ago. But that's what I'm trying to say. You're going like that, but perception is, people would obviously think 8.5 years on, everything is all right now. Obviously, we're in pain, but that's it. We've all moved on now.
You're
So it's,
thinking of it like a breakup that you'll get over.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
but it's not. That's not the case.
No.
Obviously, even saying that to you, you're like, what? So it's about the messaging more than anything else, and it's about reminding people that not everything is just over and done with. There's a lot of things that are not okay. So it's really good when we do that, and it's about sort of giving people and trying to give people that perception and idea of, obviously, everything's not just over and done with. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not even surprised. That's the worst part. I'm not even like I mean I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not surprised because I remember when I'm trying not to get too political, but when Theresa May, I'm not criticizing or like that party, but she couldn't face it. She couldn't face it. She couldn't face the people. Like, I don't know. Like, that's not me criticizing the government at that time,
Yeah.
but it's just that. But before because we'll move on to the more like positive, and I like to think of the Phoenix Rising
Yeah.
with Grenfell Athletic. There was just something you were telling me earlier that I've kind of held the thought while we were talking, and it was the you were suffocated in the positive way, that you constantly had people around you. And obviously when someone goes through anything where there's an element of struggle, suffering, negative, the scariest thing is being alone.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you was, what was that like the first time you were alone after everything you went through? Because you were like surrounded, but obviously it's
There's times,
impossible.
yeah, to
It's
always
impossible to.
consistently be, yeah.
It's just physically impossible, even if it's like 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 of course. I mean, we speak openly about it. I had really dark thoughts, suicidal thoughts, literally wanting to end my life because of everything that I've kind of gone through. Not just Grenfell in general, but it was before Grenfell as well, losing my mum and my dad at a young age, and then going through and witnessing and seeing everything I did see on the night of the fire. It literally takes its toll on you, and you think to yourself, like, there's nothing left for you. It's like you feel cursed. I always used to say that to the doctors and psychologists and stuff that I saw after the fire, that I just feel cursed because of such bad luck that's happened in my life. And then to add to all that, you literally be told, we'll try this medication, go on medication, is like a supplement to try and help you erase them thoughts in your mind. And then you try them medications because you think, you know what, it's your last resort. And then for me, I always say this as well, it's medication was probably one of the worst things I ever done. Now, that could be different for another person, Of course, it can be a different for a person. But I just had some really bad side effects to taking medication that didn't help me. And at that point there, where the dark time, it was really dark times. If it wasn't for myself snapping myself out of be it like just sitting in the hotel room, eventually being by myself, then who knows what would have could have happened. Do you know what I mean? So it's important, like if you're feeling really sad or low or depressed, stuff like that, you need to speak to someone because or have someone there for you because there is ways out of it basically.
What was how did you get out of that? Because that's it's such a it's such a easier said than done kind of thing what you're talking about.
It's hard. It's so hard because at them points there, you feel you literally are scared to tell people what you're really, really feeling. I was lucky enough, like I said, to have some really, really close friends that in the end stayed over with me, like in the hotel room, two single beds away, kind of there for me because I wasn't in a good place mentally. Do you know what I mean? They're like my best of friends. Do you know what I mean? Literally there because they didn't want to leave me alone. But like I said, I was really lucky and grateful that I had that kind of support, whereas others might not be so lucky. And the way around it is, even if it's a barrier, try and speak to someone about it. Have to try and speak to someone about it. If it's your doctor, your really close friend, family, it's really important because it's very hard when you get into them dark places to think otherwise besides what you're thinking. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. It's important to not internalize the struggle, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Thank you so much for
No worries,
sharing that,
no worries,
man.
bro.
I really, I'm grateful and I appreciate
No,
it, and
anytime to you.
I can't imagine.
Anytime to you. Thank you.
But in terms of, let's talk about the phoenix that rises. We have Grenfell Athletic, um, a club that's kind of come leaps and bounds and been on a really interesting journey. And we were chatting about this, like we were chatting about this the other day
Yeah, we were.
about. Well, I remember like 2017, like it was the summer.
It was the summer.
I remember, and like I think was it James, my brother-in-law, who your friend, like
Yeah.
invited, like at this point we played football together a lot,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like we all like
Yeah, it was like everyone come down
everyone calmed
basically.
down, and I just remember coming down to. I don't even think they were trials. I mean, they were trials,
They,
but I
yeah,
just
they were.
remember that for me it just felt like a session that
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was.
I think, I think the thing with that session there is that we only put out a message. I think it was a day and a half before the session itself, the first ever session, which you was there for.
Yeah,
And it wasn't through social media; it was through word of mouth that a
yeah,
new team called Grenfell Athletic was forming. Come down at this time here to the trials basically, just kick ball basically, and like I said, it was a day and a half, and I think in the end we had over 65 players that literally came down for that one specific session, and I think that just shows like the power of word of mouth instead of social media, but also word of mouth of obviously the power of our area, because you had over 65 people that wanted to be part of something big, but we didn't know how big at the time, but just something that had the name Grenfell in it was enough to bring that many people down with a day and a half word of mouth basically.
So how did obviously um the documentaries come out recently, Discovery Plus. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But like how obviously you touched on it a little bit, but how was the idea sort of conceived and brought to life?
So we were speaking. So Rupert, who's the chairman and the coach of the Sunday men's Grenfell Athletic team, was speaking with TNT Sport for some time. Um, we're as a club, we're very specific in terms of what we kind of want to do with people because we understand that we are something like unique in its own way, because this club was formed after a national tragedy, in my opinion. So the name itself means something, and it would be really, really easy to just go and do a documentary with everyone that wants to do a documentary of Grenfell Athletic just because of the name or what we stand for. But it was very, very precise as to Rupert spoke to TNT Sport about some of the conditions and what we wanted to see happen from this documentary, what we wanted it to focus on, because it's very easy in them kind of circumstances when you have a big media company come down and they dictate in terms of what they want from you. And it's not just in terms of me, just in terms of this documentary. It could be anything from news or whatever. They say these are the questions that we want answering, blah blah blah. Whereas with this here, it was more a much neutral thing where we gave them access to all three teams and said, this is what we kind of want to portray in terms of the messaging, what we want people to see, audience to see, which I think is really, really important because, as I've alluded to earlier, again, it was more like showing people the night of the fire, showing people that maybe didn't see it just from the TV. We wanted people to focus on it, and this documentary, it's a different kind of audience, in my opinion, that we're kind of trying to relate to, because it's a sporting kind of channel, sporting kind of media channel that we're portraying it to. Every time you hear about Grenfell or Grenfell in general, it's something to do with the news. So for this here, we're trying to show the power of a sport that literally something has risen, as you've alluded to. The phoenix is like a rose from something that's happened into what it is right now. So for us, it was really, really important that they saw everything.
Yeah.
And they're the people that were sort of producing it. They were really, really good. They were like, if there's anything more you want from us, or you want to share, by all means. They were really good. Everyone from the camera people to the people really high up in the channel, basically, they were all supportive, and we've basically got a partnership with TNT Sport now as well. So it's not just for
something long term.
Yeah. So it's not just like they've done a documentary and then they've gone. It's literally something where they're trying to support, especially the women's team, in terms of trying to create something where the women's team can thrive and get more support and get more women from the area and the local area involved in football. And then also we're doing sort of internships with TNT Sport to try and get young people, not just young, but people in the team, sort of internships with the media company of TNT Sport, which is a good sort of partnership to have as well.
No, because you're giving a lot of avenues to these young people, and you're really giving back to the community.
That's the important thing.
Something I wanted to, in terms of because I find it like a kind of like an oxymoron. Nearly, you got something big that was born out of something so tragic. How did that come about in terms of the idea of after everything and everyone's felt different emotions, had different reactions, how did you and Rupert sort of come together to make something out of to build something positive like that's come?
I mean, it was probably about a few weeks after the fire where I met Rupert a few times, like just after the fire, but it was probably about 3 or 4 weeks after the fire where Rupert tried to, like, sort of saw me. It was pretty lost in a bad way, and he sort of came over and tried to start talking to me, trying to get me to open up about myself and open up to him, basically. So we were just talking. I was giving one-worded answers. He was just asking loads of things. What do I like doing, etc. And then football came up as something that we both have a passion for. He obviously was saying to me, "Oh, he's a Liverpool fan." I was an Arsenal fan. Bit of banter going on there, and then he obviously started talking about football, he said to me, it was around the same sort of lines of obviously you lost your mum and dad at a young age. What helped you through it? And I said football, and obviously went into detail from that.
Like the stuff we were talking about.
Yeah,
Not too.
went into detail with that, and then we both kind of decided why don't we create a football team basically, and that's how the team was kind of formed off that conversation alone. And then obviously at that point there, it was sort of mid-July, and we needed to get ourselves into a league for September, the start of September, get a team together. That's when the trials happened, like 3 or 4 days later from that there, and then the team just kind of went literally probably in like 2-3 weeks. Everything was kind of getting into place, and Rupert done all the hard work in terms of getting us affiliated, getting us a league, getting us into a league, getting us kit, getting us everything. So it was I can't sit there and take recognition for it.
Course,
I can't. It was literally Rupert that done everything he possibly could to make sure this team from June something happening to September, the first of September,
Not
teams
even
going in the league.
months.
Not even 3 months, because it was mid-July where we had that discussion about it. So it was like a month and a bit, like a month and like 2 weeks maybe, that he had in that time to get everything sorted.
Wow, that's crazy. And obviously, what did you envision Grenfell Athletic to be when it was at its infancy of a talking stage? Like,
I think it, for me, was to be something where I want it to be represented in terms of people that are struggling, people that are not in a good way. It's their way of giving, like in terms of showing their love and support and their affection towards something that they've probably witnessed. And for me, I wanted it to literally enhance and help others that were going through similar circumstances to me. So that was my kind of vision for it. And obviously, yeah.
and what are some of like first of all, like, I'll go to, so what are some of like the great memories that you've had? Because we have 8 years of a football team that's grown from one Sunday team to a team
Three.
trying to three different sides. What are some of the great memories and great moments that you've had as a club, whether it's on the pitch or off? Like,
The first, the most like powerful one for me was two in particular, but the first one was our first ever match that same year in the first week of September. Being able to say I was the first captain, because I was the captain of the team, wearing the armband, the badge close to my chest, and representing that, for me it gave me one of the biggest honors of my life, being able to do that. And then the other one was winning trophies as the manager of Grenfell Athletic for, I always say, in respect to the 72 people that passed away. It's my way of remembering them through football, basically.
how do you guys, whether it's you, Rupert, or the gentleman that coaches the women's side, how do you transmit that power and that passion and that emotion of what happened to the other players, especially some that are probably, whether obviously there are probably lots of players that were from the community and
Yeah.
deeply affected, but
Yeah.
of course there were players that probably maybe more on the outskirts, maybe someone like me where we're more on the outskirts but we're not deep into it. How did you transmit that emotion part? Because like I saw, like, for example, I don't remember if it was yours or I think if it was you or Rupert. I'm talking about the documentary. No, it was you. It was you. It was with the league game and talking. It was a team talk you were given
Yeah.
before, and I was seeing like people. How did you transmit that kind of?
So for me, the most important thing is that we do the silent march for Grenfell on the anniversary, the 14th of June, every single year. And it's literally something where every single player from not just my team but all three teams are required to go to.
Is that part of the
Yeah,
being part of the club
yeah,
is something you
yeah. You
okay.
have like literally that's something that we abide to, is that you have to feel, you have to come to that basically. You have to. The other thing is that we do have contracts with the players. We're not talking money here, but we're talking contracts where we ask the players, every player from all three teams, to do, I think it's 20 or between 15 and 20 hours of community work, community service work in the local area per season. And that's something that we are starting, and it's something where it doesn't, when we say that, it's we mean sort of us as a club, we'll find sort of things that need to, like, people might need help with stuff like that, and we want to be more embedded in the community through doing work and working with people from the area. So it could be stuff like, we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago with a charity that does work with elderly people. That with that, it's basically we as a team will work with this organization and pair people up, or pair our players up with some of the elderly people. And it's just stuff like maybe once a week for an hour, just going for a walk with an elderly person or helping them go shopping, stuff like that. And that's our way of kind of embedding ourselves in the community. And this is what we're doing. We want people from the community to be proud of what we represent, and we want our players to be proud of what they're representing. So it's vice versa. So it's stuff like that, and initiatives like what we're trying to do as a club, that kind of, we don't really need to say too much in terms of going out on a weekend and explaining to them what we're doing, etc. One thing that my Saturday team, since they've all watched the documentary, they've literally said to me was, before every single match now on the pitch, we do a team huddle off the pitch, and we've started this for 3 or 2 weeks in a row now, and we're gonna do it until we don't have a Saturday team anymore. Is we all literally for 72 seconds we're in a team huddle, silence, 72 seconds silence before every game, and we get a lot of. We got the last 2 weeks we had teams thinking, looking across and looking at us and thinking, what are they doing? What are they doing? But it's our way of remembering, before we go to battle, before we go and play our match, why we are all here and what we are representing. So with my team, we're not predominantly everyone's from the area. Like what you were saying earlier on, we have players from the outside of the area that want to just be part of the club and show their respect and show their way of representing something. And that's the one thing about us as well. We do have a lot of people from the community. We do have bereaved. We do have survivors on all three teams. But we also do have people that are from the broader community that just want to do their bit basically and represent.
Wow, that's so powerful. Um, it's so much more than a club in terms of
It's a family.
it's a family,
It's a
it's
brotherhood and a sisterhood.
brotherhood, sisterhood, it's example, it's representation, it's a bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
Do you think is is that something you would have thought the club would have become from when you would start it, or is it just something that grew and grew and grew?
I think it's just over time grew and grew. As I said at the start, it was just literally trying to help predominantly men come to terms with what they've seen or what they've been through football. And over time it's progressed to a lot more. And it's something that now myself and Rupert, we say it openly to people and they might laugh, but we generally mean it. Is that one day, maybe not in the next 5 years, maybe not next 10 years, maybe in the next 30, 40 years, who knows? We want one day Grenfell Athletic to be in the Premiership, and I generally, hand on my heart, believe that can happen. It's something that we want to do and something we want to see. I think we literally say that from a place of knowing what we're capable of, and we are. And for some people, they're saying we're probably watching or thinking you're probably aiming too high, but that's literally our goal one day. Clip that, by the way.
Of course, man. I'll get the guys on it. Now that it's such a powerful story, and it's so it's so beautiful that like the power of because this is what like this embodies the power of sport, the power of community, the power of people like just all striving together and like this life, man. It's kind of can take you anywhere, like. And another thing I wanted to ask, I probably should have asked this first because you articulated yourself so beautifully there
Thank
with
you, bro.
everything.
Thank you, bro.
Was like the challenges of running a club and of running this club, because this isn't just any club. Like, this is Grenfell. That's means something to everyone.
Yeah. So it's like with that, you always get sort of. I think the one thing I love about my community, our community, I say ours, is that, as I said at the start, we're all football driven. We love, like, in terms of anything to do with Grenfell. I think people have got people have got maybe got enemies with this person. They put that to one side just for the cause. But the other thing is, obviously, sometimes with us, it's sometimes just in general. There's a lot of sort of hate, but it's a fact of, like, people don't like the fact that Grenfell Athletic. This is real talk now. Like, some people think, oh, Grenfell Athletic's come out of nowhere now, etc. And yeah, people's perception of Grenfell Athletic could be like, yep, they've made it, whatever. It's really not the case. Us as a club, this is very important for me, is that we're actually a charity. So as well as being what we do on the pitch every Saturday and Sundays, all three teams, we're actually a charity as well. So for us, I think the club, as a club, like, we try to offer like, in terms of our fees for our players, it's so, like, it's really good value, for very, very good value for money, because we understand that we live in an area, or majority of the people that play for us, we come from an area that's, in hindsight, Royal Borough of Chelsea, one of the richest areas and boroughs in the world. But it's also, there's a divide, because the quality of life in terms of some people are on very low incomes in our area as well. So I think with us, it's like running the club and trying to understand that you have people in general that have different kind of affordabilities in terms of wage, in terms of what they earn, and trying to put that into consideration when you're doing the team, basically, in terms of how much they can afford to pay to be part of this team. Our fees are really, really cheap, and if anything, the club, every year we take a big loss, because the club covers so much for each other, that the only good thing for us is that there's an odd time or two where we might get that sort of someone that says, here you go, here's some money, put that towards your club, kind of thing. I'm going off topic here, by the way.
No.
Say. I'm going off topic. I'm going off topic, bro. No. You got to ask me that question again, bro. Say.
No, but you've answered it really well. I was saying the biggest challenges of running a club, and
it's hard.
Of running this club, like,
it's
not
hard.
not a club.
Yeah. It's just, I'll be honest. I'll just say it now. It's really hard, because, as I said, we live in the Royal Borough of Kensington, Chelsea, one of the richest boroughs in the world, and it's hard. It's really hard, because there's a lot of people in our area that are of low income backgrounds, basically, stuff like that, basically. So it's really hard to adjust.
You want to make it as accessible as possible, but
we do, but we have to understand. We have to understand that there's a lot of cost to running free football clubs.
Like accessibility, but you gotta keep the lights on, figuratively speaking.
Yeah, and we're always at a loss every year.
Yeah.
We're at a loss, but we do that because we try to help the players that maybe can't afford, or very low incomes. Basically, the club comes to, like, a payment plan, or tries to cover some of the costs for people, because we don't discriminate. We don't want to discriminate, or have someone that we're trying to help, or this team is going to help them through some dark periods. We're not trying to get rid of them because they just can't afford the subs, basically, or something like that. So we try out the most that we possibly can to try and be anyone to help them out.
I mean, you're just humanizing the game.
We're trying to.
I mean, club of the game, club of the people, like, it's club of the community, is and the higher you go, the bigger the impact you can make on the wider community as well.
It's just messaging. I think someone we was talking about earlier on, Tia, that you know very well.
Yeah.
She says something in the documentary that even to today and will probably for a long time be part of like always remembering. She says something around the sort of lines of the bigger the club gets, the more people speak of the name, and no one can ever forget the night of the fire.
No.
So that's the way in which how she's elegantly said it is how I definitely see it in terms of the progress that we can do as a club, basically.
Yeah, we sure you got receipts.
Say again?
I'm just saying, bad joke. So I'm awkward, man.
It's calm, bro. It's calm, bro. Don't. You're good, bro.
Nah, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And it's just such a small world, man.
It's crazy.
It's just such a small world. There's going to be people that will come and tune into this and they're going to be like, how do these two know each other?
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
16 years of friendship, bro. 16 years of knowing each other, bro. James got us in the room, bro.
Nah, man. Speaking of James, I'm going to probably try to edit, but this episode was powered by James. James is my brother-in-law, our friend, that our mutual. This is powered by his YouTube channel, Football Locker Room Banter, and I feel like such a prick that I didn't start this way.
Big up, James.
I'll big up James, but yeah, this is powered by Football Locker Room Banter, where he just likes to. James is like any of us men from London who likes football and likes to talk about football and chat with the man, chat football, and he's got his YouTube channel, which he started well, and then it kind of, you have to start from scratch.
He's starting from scratch now,
and he's grown it really well.
If you can subscribe to him, please,
subscribe
please.
to Football Locker Room Banter.
It's really
and
good.
this episode will also be going out on Football Locker Room Banter as well. So yeah, big up. I'm gonna do a little clip at the start and then get them to edit it and put it at the start. I forgot, but
100%.
yeah, this episode is powered by Football Locker Room Banter. So big up, James.
Big up, James.
And yeah, so yeah, no, I had to say
you have to. No, you have to, bro.
you
have to.
No, but yeah, no, I feel like people are gonna tune in and be like, "Raw, this is random."
Yeah. They'd be like, "Bro, how's this on his platform?"
Yeah. No, bro, it's been such a pleasure hearing your story and hearing what you've had to say. And
appreciate it.
I mean, this is new for me. I'm always learning and practicing as a conversationalist, per se. And I really appreciate how open and honest you've been, and I'm really grateful as well. And it's been, I remember, this was years ago. I think we were walking. We finished a session at Linford Christie, or after one of the one of the trainings of.
I think I know what you're gonna say. Right, go and say it. I think I know what you're gonna say. I think.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in it.
No, because if you remember, then
I think so. Was it about climbing a fence or something? No, it's something completely different. Because I remember you climbing. There was one time where the pitches were locked to get onto Linford Christie.
Yeah, and we climbed.
We climbed some mad way, and I remember you almost buckled over. I remember you was like, "No, I'm cool." I think I'm remembering that, but
no, this wasn't at Linford. This was after.
Oh,
this was towards we were leaving Scrubs.
Okay.
And I was like, and this was months after. Oh, this is gonna sound like such a glazing, bro.
tell me. Now I'm intrigued, bro. I'm intrigued.
Why for that? But this is gonna sound. But I remember going shit, because it was. I think it was one of my friends, and I think my brother was there, and then it was one of your friends, the Portuguese guy. I think he was Portuguese.
Alex. Big up, Alex.
It was. We were walking back or towards East Acton. We were cutting out. You know when you leave Linford Christie and you cut through the
grass,
field,
the grass bit.
And you put the prison, but you're cutting through the grass. And I remember saying, I was like, because it was like, I never spoke to you about that night, and that night that moment I didn't speak to you either, and I was like, shit, you're one of the strongest guys I've ever met.
Thank you, bro.
You know, but like I remember saying that. Oh yeah, but it sounds kind of cringy. I feel like I'm just trying to be like I feel like it's just gonna come across like
Nah,
oh you're here and
bro.
I'm trying to gas you up.
Nah,
Like,
nah.
but
Nah,
like, I just
nah.
remember that. I don't know if you remember that, but like
I
you
remember
might
the walk.
not.
I remember the walk. I remember the walk. I
And you
remember
were telling me you were Algerian. I was like thinking, I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
you were Algerian.
Jazeri. Jazeri
Like
out here.
it was just bad. Like yeah, but I remember that being said, and you're like, oh, you're like thanks or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
remember how
yeah.
you reacted,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I remember the walk. I remember the walk. It was like, so it was me, you, Alex, your brother, and I think there was one more.
yeah, a friend of
Yeah, yeah,
mine.
yeah. So it was like five of us. We were walking, and we were walking part on the grass bit, and was
Like,
doing the shortcut towards East Acton Station.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
it. I remember it.
Oh man, it's crazy, bro.
It's
The
crazy.
memories, bro. And then
You just get flashbacks. Sometimes it's just like you don't really know it. You don't really. You could be talking to someone on the phone for ages, and then you see each other, and you're like, "Do you remember that about 10 years ago? 5 years?" Literally, that's what it's like, isn't it?
yeah, no, because as we were sitting there and we were talking about the trials, that came to my head just now, and I was
It's
like,
mad.
I don't even remember that session. Like, I don't remember a thing. You know what? Yeah, I was on the tube on my way here, yeah, and I was sitting down, and I was thinking to myself, I've been on loads of tube journeys, yeah, and then I was like, am I gonna remember this tomorrow? I don't know why. I was just sitting there thinking, I'm hot, I'm cramped. Am I gonna remember this, or am I gonna like?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that, but it just came to my head, innit?
No,
Like,
it's good, bro. It's calm.
but nah, man. Obviously, the thank yous, and I've said this, so I don't want to say it again,
Yeah.
again. But I start on reflection, yeah, little cheeky free questions and that, yeah, and then I end on reflection. So I always ask the guest, what did you feel you gained, haven't gained, haven't learned, sitting down here this evening, this morning, this afternoon, speaking with me. Now I overcomplicated that sentence, but yeah.
I think like it's like what you just said as well. It's like remembering little things from the past that just gets put to the back of your mind, and you don't really remember.
It just kind of appears, isn't
It just appears like it's just like a flash. It's not a flash. It's like a flashback. It's just like something in your head just goes ding 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 ding.
You
and I'm just
and it
yeah.
goes,
Yeah. It's literally how I felt here today, because like
in a good way.
no. Of course, it's in a really good way. It's a positive way. So for me, that's something that I take away from today. It's just like some of the stuff that we spoke about, and some of the things that you've said to me today that like reminded me of like the last little bit there about like some of the little when the walk back, and you saying what you said to me on our way back to the station from training. It was just like as soon as you started to say it, it gave me a flashback of another point where I remember what we used to do at training as well, like climbing that. I remember you climbing that, because I remember you climbing that fence, and I remember it was one of the ways was locked, yeah, and you literally climbed onto something and climbed over. It was like a blue gate, and you climbed over it basically. And I was like, it looked like you almost was gonna fall over on the other side, but
I probably was.
Yeah, but he was like, no, I'm good. So it's just stuff like that. It's positive and happy thoughts basically that I would say have come out of all this.
Well, yeah, man. Once again, thank you so much for your time and your conversation,
Anytime,
man.
bro.
And yeah, just any shout outs you want to give.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how I said it like that.
No.
But any shout outs, like any.
Yeah. So I just want to say, firstly, if you haven't watched our documentary, it's called Beacon of Grenfell Athletic, Beacon of Hope. It's on TNT Sport and Discovery Plus. Give it a watch. You find out how the team was created. Goes into a little bit of the night of the fight. And it shows a little bits and games of all three teams and what we want what we kind of want the club to sort of do, and what we're striving to for the future. Big up to James for reuniting myself and T after many years. Big up everyone, the followers for watching, and people watching. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for having me as well, T. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Well, anyway, man, like, subscribe, comment, Life in Sport. Like and subscribe subscribe to Football Locker Room Banter. We're here in the studio. Yeah, always a pleasure to be here in the studio, have these conversations, and always hearing insightful things and learning and broadening our perspectives, even if it's like 1%. So yeah, big up people. See you soon. And you know what? Wait. I'm gonna. You outro it.
Ooh, putting the pressure on me.
You
yeah?
outro it, bro. You outro it. Let the people see your source and your charisma, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, I have to give myself the face.
Yeah, wait. Do the DiCaprio like
that. So thank you for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Make sure you tune in again soon for the next episode coming up soon.
One after,
and the one after, and keep watching. T's doing some brilliant things on this channel, and
so is James on his.
So is James on Football Locker Banter Room.
Football Locker Room Banter.
Yeah, football. I should know this. That's the bad thing about it.
You need to write it down for you so you can read it out.
I think you should just end it, bro.
Big up. See you soon.